Good afternoon. Welcome to KUMB TV's Eyes Up Mother Brown. We are live back for a new season number 26, actually. That's 25. That's how many we've done already. We're back for number 26 this year. Game's kicked off. Manchester City visiting the London Olympic Stadium for the first game of the season here today. Probably not the ideal fixture to start with a new season. But of course, as David Moyes said recently, you've got to play everyone twice, right? So, why not get it out of the way nice and early? As you may have guessed, I am flying solo this afternoon. All the other members of the team at the stadium, those who can be. So if anyone's joining me out there, it's good to have you. I've just seen Michail Antonio have a fairly decent opportunity in the opening third minute of the game. But yeah, it's all go. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good summer. Let me know what you've been up to. You been on holiday anywhere? Very nice. Let me know. Where you've been this summer. Abroad? Stayed in the UK? Got stuck at Dover? Let me know what you've been up to. West Ham, busy in the transfer window now. We were all kind of waiting for something to happen, and then it all sort of kicked into action, didn't it? 5 signings in now. The latest, Maxwell Cornet, paraded around the ground before kickoff. Can't play today, of course, because he was registered too late to feature against the Citizens this afternoon. But yeah, there we go. The game is underway. We are 4.5 minutes in, and it's West Ham United 0, Man City 0. Excuse me. I've had a very energetic afternoon and need a bit of a drink. No product placement there. Don't get paid for drinking that, but it's just the first thing I found in the fridge. Anyway, we're looking at Man City on the break on the left-hand side. Ball's played down to Grealish, who's got to the byline, is going to pull the ball across. It's a bit of a tricky one, but Lucas Fabianski manages to grab the ball. What do you think of the goalkeeping situation? Fabianski keeping his place today, but do you think Areola perhaps should have been in there? Who knows? A lot of people would have preferred to see the Frenchman in there today, but he's not. And it's the Pole who keeps his spot. Going to be 38 this year, Fabianski. So doing very, very well. But anyway, ball exchange, fairly even exchanges at the moment. West Ham trading blows with City. Manchester City, that is. I should refer to them to their full name, of course. Being as they are not the only city by far in the Premier League, or indeed the league as a whole. But anyway, 6 minutes gone. It's West Ham United 0, Manchester City. Now I'm just going to put my monitor on full screen so it doesn't look like I'm looking right over there to watch the game. Where are you watching the game today? Let me know. Are you watching it at home? Are you watching it in the stadium and perhaps tuning into this from the London Olympic Stadium down the pub? Maybe it's a lovely day out there. Great day for having a drink outside if you get the opportunity. But yeah, beautiful day. Beautiful day. Let us know if you're watching. Let me know what you're up to, where you're watching the game, and what do you think? West Ham, any chance today? We've got real problems, haven't we, at the back? Dawson out injured. Diop, of course, not available. Pretty much sure there's an imminent transfer going ahead soon. New man, Naif Aguerd, injured in that 3-1 pre-season friendly defeat at Rangers and unavailable, which means that Ben Johnson has come into the centre of defence, which probably isn't what David Moyes had in mind when he was thinking about what he was going to do for the first game of the season back in May. Of course, he was registered a little bit of unhappiness, didn't he, about the way the pre-season's gone so far. I booked some players and did want to bring in an awful lot more players. Just hasn't had the opportunity to do that yet. What did you make of Moyes' comments? Did you think that there was sort of a hint of dissatisfaction with the board and the way they've handled the transfers, or did you just feel that he was just generally a bit cheesed off that he hadn't managed to land any of his main targets? What did you make of that? What was your view of that very interesting interview that Moyes gave on Friday ahead of this game? Let me know. Hello to Metal in both legs. First up with the shout in today. Good to see you back, Metal. Hope you had a good summer, buddy. 8 minutes gone. West Ham United 0, Manchester City 0. Jack Grealish seeing a lot of the ball on Man City's left, our right-hand side, up against Soufal. Of course, those two have had plenty of run-ins in the past, haven't they? We'll just wait for the ball to go out to play before I take you through the lineups. Even if you haven't seen them, I'm sure everyone watching has, but we'll do it anyway, just for the purpose of making sure we do all those bits. For the game's ball's gone out of play now, so we'll take you through the Man City lineup first. Edison, Walker, Diaz, Ake, of course, the West Ham target towards the end of last season. Cancelo, Rodrigo, De Bruyne, Gundogan, the captain, Foden, new signing, Haaland, Erling Haaland, and Jack Grealish completing the starting lineup for Manchester City. On the bench, they've got Ortega, Moreno, Phillips, Stones, Alvarez, Bernardo, Mahrez, Palmer, Lewis, and Wilson, S-Brand. Man City trying to get shot away. De Bruyne. The ball canning back off Declan Rice, I think it was, fully into the path of Jack Grealish, who puts the ball into the far post, looking to get it behind Aaron Cresswell, but unable to do so. The ball's been cleared to Michail Antonio, who's fouled. There's a big boo from the crowd, and West Ham with a free kick. Michail Antonio, what do you make of this? I'm kind of thinking about this before the game. I reckon he's going to be on it today. He made those comments in that podcast earlier in the week with Callum Wilson, the Footballer's Footballer podcast, in which he was saying about he's waited 18 months for a strike partner to really put some pressure on him. Of course, he hasn't had that, has he? And I'm sure, as any of you have played sport to any level know, if you've got no competition for your place, there's no real incentive to pull out all the stops. And Antonio's saying that the signing of Gianluca Scamacca will certainly, give him the incentive to do that. So hopefully, we'll see. I've just got a feeling he's going to do something today. Really prolific after sort of about September last year. Had a fantastic start to the season, didn't he? Last year, but sort of fell by the wayside and struggled a bit, didn't he? In the second half of the season, couldn't really find the net an awful lot. What was it, 4 or 5 months he went without scoring a first-class goal? But hopefully he's back on it. And like I say, I've got a feeling he's going to come up trumps today, but we'll see. Man City beginning to control possession now. Good afternoon to Jim Sawyer, or should I say good morning to Jim, because Jim's joining us live from Adelaide in South Australia, lying in bed as usual. Can't be bad, mate. Can't be bad. Make the most of it, I guess. Man City, the ball's sort of in the centre of the pitch. Man City just playing the ball around. West Ham not able to get hold of the ball for just a bit. Gosh, it's warm. I've just thrown the lawnmower around the garden. Took a couple of hours to do it, and I'm absolutely whacked. But anyway, that's not your problem. 11 minutes gone. Man City again coming forward, probing on the left-hand side. Jack Grealish again. That's a great tackle from Soufal, who's put Grealish up in the air. Grealish wants a free kick, but play continues, and the ball switched to the opposite side where Aaron Cresswell just lays off his man a little bit. But I think it's Fornells who wins the ball. Jack Grealish is rolling around, and this is what we don't like to see. He's clearly not injured. I think it's a good challenge from. Yeah, I mean it's a strong challenge by Soufal. He's taken the ball and the man, but let's have a look from this angle. This will give us. Oh, actually, he's very, very late on Grealish. And I wouldn't mind betting actually if there's a VAR there, this could be trouble. Are we going to see a VAR check on this? Did he get the ball? What did you make of that, guys? Now, on the last replay we saw, which was the reverse angle, it didn't look like he took an awful lot of the ball, Soufal, and I think that's why Grealish was rolling around on the floor in a vain attempt to perhaps get his mark of caution, but to no avail. Nothing happens anyway. Man City in the box. This looks dangerous. West Ham can't get the ball clear. Now's an opportunity to do so. Thomas Souček basically just hoofs it long, says to Michail Antonio, "Get after that, son," and the ball's come back into Man City's possession. Good afternoon to you. If you're just joining us on the stream, very quiet out there today. Take it you're all at the game, which is good. It's where you should be, not stuck at home watching it indoors. Michail Antonio has thrown himself about quite a bit so far, as you'd expect. West Ham with the throw on the right hand side, aimed to Antonio, who sort of gets a bit of a touch in the back, but that's no foul there, and the ball goes straight through to Edison. We should bring you West Ham's team. We've done Man City. As nothing's happened, Fabianski, of course, retaining his spot in goal. What did you make of that? Did you think Areola should have started today? He hasn't. Anyway, he's on the bench. Soufal and Cresswell fullback, Zuma and Johnson. The two centre-halves in our back four this afternoon. Of course, all those injuries and omissions. Rice captaining the team, Souček, Lanzini, Bowen and Fornells forming that front three, and Antonio at the spearhead of the attack. Now West Ham looking dangerous on the left-hand side. Declan Rice plays it out to Fornells. Can Fornells get one in? Plays it back short. Lanzini tries to play a ball. It's too clever for Declan Rice, and possession's lost. Shame that, because it was a good opportunity for West Ham to do something there. Yeah. Are you confident, guys? What do you reckon? Fancy this today? Is it a good time to play Man City? Is it a bad time? Of course, they're fresh from that defeat in the, what do they call it? Is it the Community Shield now? Well, this is dangerous. Ooh. Chance for De Bruyne. West Ham backs off him. But he's dragged his shot wide, 14 minutes. And I think that's Man City's first effort on goal. But Man City seeing a lot more of the ball, as you'd expect, really. But it's taken them a long time to really get a decent shot off this afternoon. Transfer business. Well, hang on a sec. Man City looking to probe here on the right-hand side. Again, De Bruyne with the ball. Closed down by Cresswell. Not enough, and the ball's delivered into the centre. Lucas Fabianski climbs highest, clutches it, plucks it out the air to a round of applause from the watching 62,500 supporters. A new record attendance for a West Ham United League fixture, of course, with the addition of those extra 2,500 seats at the London Olympic Stadium this season. Yeah, transfer business. What do you make of it so far? Are you happy with what we've brought in? Areola, Flynn Downs, Aguerd, Maxwell Cornet, and of course Scamacca, who's on the bench today. David Moyes, of course, saying that he doesn't think the Italian's ready to be involved just yet. A couple of weeks behind the rest of his teammates in terms of his pre-season training. So it looks like we might see him at Forest next week. You never know, but not involved today. But maybe we'll get 5 or 10 minutes towards the end if Mickey Antonio starts tiring. But no signs of that so far. In the opening 15 minutes, he's certainly been busy. West Ham substitutes this afternoon. Areola, Randolph, still at the club. I'm surprised to see him still at the club, but there he is. Harrison Ashby, a young fullback. Connor Coventry on the bench. It's interesting with Flynn Downs, the two young central midfielders. Armstrong Okaflex, Nico Vlasic on the bench with Ben Rama and Scamacca. What are your thoughts on this front three? We've got some options now, in attack there. Hello, Steve. Good to see you, buddy. Good to have you with us. Ben Rama, Vlasic, Fornells, Bowen, Lanzini, and now, of course, Cornet as well. Who's your favourite three? How would you play that if, we're assuming that we've got one up front, Antonio or Scamacca? Which three would you like to see playing behind those strikers? Options for David Moyes. Of course, it's in defence, really, and in the centre of midfield that we're lacking a little bit at the moment. But hoping to fill those places. And, of course, in terms of the transfer market, where do you think we really need to strengthen before the end of the window, which is, 3 weeks away now? Options field. We need a left back. There's a lot of questions about Aaron Cresswell, who's the club's longest serving player at the club for 8 years, I think it is now. 2014, he came in from Ipswich in a £3-4 million deal. Incredible value when you look back at it. Yeah, Cresswell looks like he's going to be replaced. Need more options to be in the centre of midfield. Of course, Amadou Onana was the player David Moyes has been watching for some time, is hoping to bring in. Then, of course, we're not quite sure exactly what happened there. But bits and bobs beginning to filter in terms of why that fell down. Hopefully we'll have some news for you on that this week on KUMB. But we'll just come back to the game from because Man City are building on the right hand side, playing the ball down the flank. De Bruyne now he's got to the byline, tries to pull it across. Kurt Zuma goes across, puts its hand behind the back, as is the way of centre halves today, so they don't get caught in the arm and concede a penalty. And it rebounds off his chest for a Man City corner. It's number 47, Phil Foden, who's getting a lot of joy out there on the right-hand side at the moment. Him and Jack Grealish being used an awful lot so far this afternoon. Pep Guardiola obviously seeing that as an area in which he can profit. Good delivery in, but that's easy. That's an easy one for Lucas Fabianski to come off his line and clutch. Emma, good to have you. I've never heard of that particular place in America, but I'm sure that's not his actual name. Let us know where you are. North, south, east, or west. Big place, of course. Big place. 18 minutes gone. West Ham United 0, Manchester City Neil, on the opening day or our opening game of the Premier League season for West Ham United, some interesting results so far. Who's your surprise of the weekend? Let me know on the live chat. Anyone's really sort of taken your fancy so far? Any play you've looked at and thought, yeah, he could do a job for us perhaps, or it looks like he's going to be a strong player this season. Any surprises so far? Of course, we saw Chelsea pretty much demolish Everton, as you'd expect. On was it Saturday? Yesterday, one or two other interesting results, and we've had a couple today, which we'll look at in just a moment, as we just see Man City still possession again. West Ham really not seeing an awful lot of the ball now. It's all Man City in these. I don't know what colour that is. I'll call that Stabilo. Yeah, like Stabilo pens. It's a great delivery, and Jack Grealish tries to whip one in. It's only half cleared. Back to De Bruyne on the edge of the box. Slings it in. Diving header from Johnson. West Ham still can't clear their lines. This is danger. And this is where, we've had problems in the past. Ball back with Grealish, who's closely monitored by Jarrod Bowen. Grealish again. Playing it inside to De Bruyne, who's looking to probe and get into the box. Tries a little 1-2. It's not happening. Declan Rice stabs the ball away. And Soufa has the ball now. Can he? He'll try and go long, which he does, and it's just possession conceded once again. West Ham just putting the ball clear. It's gone all the way back to Man City's goalkeeper Ederson. It's going down rather too easy this afternoon. Yes, H. Cornet will probably do well at West Ham, he says. Let's hope so, mate. Player that I saw quite a bit of at Burnley last year, generally only in highlights. I can't say I watched too many Burnley games in full. But from what I managed to see him, of course, I'm sure a lot of you would have seen the same. He looked like a real player coming in from Lyon. Let go very, very cheaply by Lyon because he was in the final year of his contract there. And really, really good player. I was actually quite surprised when Burnley managed to sign him. But let's just have a look at this. It's a delivery in, and Haaland almost on the end of it. Oh, that was close. Haaland managed to escape the attentions of West Ham's defenders. Foden whipped one in, and in swinging delivery from the corner of the penalty box, Haaland just stepped away from. He stepped away from Kurt Zouma. Zouma just completely lost him. Switched off for a second, and that's all it's going to take. A switch, switch off for a brief moment, and Haaland was in there. It was a free head. He just couldn't quite get over it. Fortunately for West Ham, and not sure if he got anything on it at all. But fortunately for West Ham, he didn't. Just write my notes here. But we're pretty much coming up to the midway point. Here's Haaland again on the edge of West Ham's box. Back to Jack Grealish. And De Bruyne, again, it's these three have been so busy today. And Foden, of course, for Man City. Excuse me. Pardon me. It's a Coke going through the system. West Ham lining up in numbers at the back. Had a pretty good record, didn't we, against Man City last season? Well, it's a great delivery in, and Fabianski chooses to punch the ball clear. It's actually a very clever punch because it's reached Pablo Fornals, but the game has been stopped, unfortunately for West Ham, because Fabianski is down on his front. He's taking a whack now. Let's see what happens here. I imagine there was a collision with a Man City player. De Bruyne has the ball on the left, hooks on him with his right-hand foot. I think it's Haaland who just catches Fabianski. They're coming together. Let's have a look. Yeah, there's nothing in it really. It could be Cresswell or Zouma or Haaland. Actually, they're waiting together at the far post, and Fabianski crashed into all three. Completely no intent in that at all. It's just an accidental collision. One of those things, I guess, if you're a goalkeeper, that you're you have to throw yourself in the mix sometimes. Now, what's this? The fans have got something. So this is obviously a freebie. It's on the seats. A lot of fans are using them as temporary hats. The players taking a bit of a drinks break here at the midway point in the second half. This, I'm presuming this is choreographed and just happens to coincide with that collision. Mild injury for Fabianski, but De Bruyne and Haaland deep in conversation, trying to figure out how they can break down West Ham's stubborn and resilient defence. How do West Ham win this game? Do we need to? Will we be happy with the point? You know, would you be happy to see West Ham play like this for the remaining 70 minutes, 60, 67 minutes or so? Just sit back and try and soak up the pressure and hope to hit City on the break? You're expecting a little bit more from this West Ham team. Of course, we did say that 5 new signings, none of them on the pitch today. 3 on the bench, 1 injured and 1 unavailable due to signing too late. We've just seen a shot of the temperature inside the stadium, 31.2 degrees, 31.2. That is very, very warm. Round of applause goes up around the stadium as Gianluca Scamacca warms up on the sideline. First signing of our new man in claret and blue. I'd imagine he's very, very hot as well because he's got a training bib and a long-sleeved substitute's top on. So I'm sure it's keeping him very warm, but good to see him. Fabianski looks a little bit, doesn't look completely happy. Kind of limping around there at the moment. And being given plenty of time to just warm up a little bit by Michael Oliver, today's referee. Of course, talking about officials, also in the officials team today, an old friend of ours, or certainly not an old friend of Gnomes anyway, Mike Dean, the scourge of West Ham United, is in the VAR studio today, and we'll be assessing any VAR decisions that go our way or against us. That's a nice touch, actually. Haaland's just gone over to Fabianski and apologised for his part in that injury to the Polish goalkeeper, which is nice to see. Like to see that. Now we're just having a look at a few match stats. Now that's tells a story in its own. West Ham's successful passes so far in the opening 25 minutes. 25. That's 1 pass every minute. Man City 198, 8 times as many. 8 passes to West Ham's 1. Possession West Ham 16%. Man City 84. Interesting. Not great stats. Of course, as we often say, you don't win a match with stats, but there is obviously the other side to that says that, if you haven't got the ball, you're very unlikely to score a goal. With only 16% of it, I wouldn't mind wagering, actually, that most of that 16% was in the opening few minutes when West Ham looked very bright in that first 3 or 4 minutes. But anyway, still 0-0. It's all right, isn't it? It's good. 25 minutes gone. Long way to go, of course. Man City in a very, very, I was saying, it's a very strange kit. It's like a Stabilo yellow. It's like those Stabilo pens. The marker pens? I've got in here. What's this? Oh, it's kind of like this colour. That's not a Stabilo pen, but you get the picture with black stripes across it. Almost look like Buzzy Bees in a way. Interesting choice of away kit. What do you think of West Ham's kits this season? You a fan? Do you like the home kits? Old claret shirt, no blue arms is tradition. And of course that away kit of all black, well, the away kit I'm wearing here at the moment, all black. You can't really go wrong with all black, can you? Obviously it's not a traditional West Ham colour, but goes well with a pair of jeans, as they say. 26 minutes gone. Man City in the attack again, in the centre of the pitch, just playing short passes, trying to get that pass count up once again. Lots of 5-yard passes. Lots of movement, lots of triangles, trying to pull West Ham open, looking for the opening, but the Hammers keeping close attention. Quite a tight press when Man City come into our final third, or last 40 yards anyway. City allowed to play the ball up until that point and then being closed down. West Ham keeping their shape nicely. Anyway, Jack Grealish has got the ball on the left-hand side once again. Soufal goes out, and this is dangerous. He's got through. This is dangerous for West Ham. Great chance. Goal. No, it isn't. It's in the back of the net, but fortunately for West Ham, I think it's being flagged for offside. Now, let's see. I would imagine that's the ball from Grealish through. Let's have a look. Grealish on the ball. Yeah, it's Gundogan. Gundogan was the receiver on that ball. He's half a yard offside. Pulls the ball back for Kevin De Bruyne, who slides it into the back of the net. Man City think they've scored. Unlucky, chaps, unlucky. Wasn't to be, was it? Doesn't count. Stays 0-0. But West Ham got to be careful. Now, Lucas Fabianski's receiving some more attention there, but I think he's going to go off. It looks like he's about to be replaced. Let's have a look. And this will be an unexpected and early debut this season for a new signing, Alphonse Areola. Let's say new signing. Of course, he was here last year, wasn't he? But a permanent signing. for around £10 million from Paris Saint-Germain in the summer, converting that loan deal to a permanent transfer and making his first appearance in the sixth. Fabianski off in the 28th minute. Just make a quick note of that. See, normally when we're doing these, I'll be doing these while everyone else is talking. But of course, when I'm, as I said earlier, flying solo, it's a little bit more difficult. Got to try and write and talk at the same time, which is never easy. So that's Fabianski replaced by Areola after just 28 minutes. Of course, the substitutions rule has changed this season. Big hug from Fabianski for Areola. And first change of the day. Yep, lots more players available for the manager to change. Fabianski just getting a pat on the back from Kevin Nolan there, as he trudges off slowly and looking rather disconsolate towards the changing room. And the ball is with Areola, who's going to take this free kick for the offside. 29 minutes gone. West Ham United 0, Manchester City 0. The Hammers they barely see the ball since about the 3rd or 4th minute. But Grealish is on the ball again for Man City, looking dangerous, darting down the left-hand side, looking for the overlap. And it's played out wide. And Soufal's been beaten here. It's a good delivery, but there's no one there. It's Cancelo who managed to leave Soufal trading in his weight there. But West Ham unable to get the lines clear, and Mickey Antonio's now gone down. Now, this doesn't look great. Mickey Antonio's gone down on his back. Now he's holding his right knee, and he looks to be in some pain here. Or is it his left knee? Not quite sure. It looks like it could be his left. I thought it was his right, but it's his left. Now this is worrying for West Ham. The goalkeeper, of course, we've got about 36 goalkeepers, so not a huge concern if we lose Fabianski. Declan Rice. And if that's any indication of the extent of the injury, that's not good, because Declan Rice has just had a quick word with Mickey Antonio, and he's walking away shaking his head in kind of like frustration and disappointment. It is definitely his. It looks like is his knee, or is it his thigh muscle that they're tweaking there? Yeah. So we've just seen a replay. It looks like Antonio comes down quite heavily on that left leg. I'm not quite sure if it's his knee or his thigh muscle that's the problem. It could be either. Worrying signs for David Moyes. Of course, he doesn't want to throw Scamacca in at this point after only half hour. Antonio's hobbling off, and I don't think he's going to be able to continue. Looking at the way he's walking very gingerly off the pitch there. Now, is it a knee or is it a thigh? Well, they're not going to make a. Well, no, he's jogging up and down the touchline. So let's have a look. Hopefully, Mickey Antonio will be back. And would be a dreadful shame to lose him at this point, because he looked quite up for it in the opening few minutes. And of course, as I said at the top of the show, he's now got that challenger for his place in the shape of Scamacca that, as he said in week on the podcast, the Footballers podcast, he's not had since Seb Haller left. But let's see. Hopefully, he'll be back on in just a few months. West Ham temporarily down to 10 men. Anyway, 31 minutes gone. West Ham 1. West Ham 0. Sorry, Manchester City 0. Man City complete control in terms of possession. But there's no goals, which is all that matters so far. Just having a look at those results earlier today. Interesting one at Old Trafford call for Manchester United. Much was made about the new manager coming in and them having a different mindset and being a completely different proposition this season. Well, they've been beaten at home by Brighton. Of course, have lost a very, very good player in their fullback this week to Chelsea. And I'm not sure that's a shock anymore, is it really? But interesting one anyway. Leicester, of course, who are in all sorts of trouble. Haven't really, haven't strengthened at all this summer. Held at home 2-2 by Brentford earlier today. So some interesting results already. Mark Noble, there's a lovely shot of Mark Noble in the crowd. Must be wishing he's out there, suited and booted, in the director's box, looking very, 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 very sharp. We're not used to seeing him in there. Now, Pablo Fornells has just taken a dig to the face. Then he's had a little hack at the Man City player because he didn't get the decision. Michael Oliver holds a hand aloft and says, "Be careful, son. We don't want to see any more of that." Bit petulant that from the Spaniard, but he's just done it again, but he's got away with it. Man City now, ball play through, looking for Haaland. It's a bit strong though, and Areola is able to come out and claim the ball to his left, low down. 33 minutes gone now. Craven, good to see you again, buddy. How are you? I hope you had a good summer, mate. You're obviously a fan of Areola. For those of you who weren't here, I asked the question at the top of the show and just said, who would you like to see between the sticks this year? Would you like to see Areola go straight in or Fabianski? Well, of course, we've got Areola in now. We've had both in the opening half hour of this game. Fabianski injured after 28 minutes, that collision with Haaland, and replaced by Areola. But who would you like to see starting on a regular basis if, you know, both players are fit? Maybe you'd like to see Darren Randolph in. You know, why not? Each their own and all that. It's all about opinions. 12 minutes to go to the break. Man City yet again in possession of this football. And West Ham really not seeing the ball at all in this first half. Very frustrating if you're a Hams fan. But of course, I suppose that, you know, if the score remains like this until the 90th minute, no one's really going to be complaining, are they? If we were to take a point from this very, very tough opening fixture of the 2022-23 season. We did say, as mentioned earlier, Man City have already had the ball in the net on the 27th minute, but it's given offside, and Haaland, and that could be a penalty. Yeah, trouble. Man City have a penalty. Now the ball slipped through for Haaland, who once again escapes the attention of West Ham's defence, and Areola is still a little bit cold. He's only been on the pitch 7 minutes, comes rushing out. It's Gundogan who plays the ball through. Haaland touched it just wide of Areola, who's already committed. He's going down, and the ball's just slipped rounding, and he's just caught Haaland's feet, and that's pretty much clear penalty as any you'll see. So West Ham up against it already. 35 minutes gone. Man City a chance to take the lead from the penalty spot, and it's Haaland who's going to take it. Let's see what happens here. Steps up, waiting for the whistle from referee Michael Oliver. He's got the ball in his hands. Not going to put it on the spot yet. The whistle goes, places the ball on the spot, takes several steps backwards, keeps his head down to the ground. Left foot strikes, rolls it into the bottom corner. Man City take the lead here at the London Olympic Stadium. Very interesting celebration from Man City's new signing. It's almost, I'm not quite sure what he's doing there. Must be into yoga, I'd imagine, by the way he sits on the floor and celebrates. But 36 minutes gone, and it's 1-0 to Man City. Alphonso Areola diving to his left, and Haaland placing the ball low into the right-hand corner. If Areola's been watching videos of Haaland, he's either got that one completely wrong, or Haaland changed his normal tactic. But you know, you can't say that Man City haven't deserved to be in the lead. They've been in complete control of this game so far. West Ham not in it whatsoever, barely seen the ball, and they're going to have to come out and try something a little bit different now, because Man City have got the deserved lead, 9 minutes ahead of the half-time break. What do you make of it so far? Not a lot to cheer for West Ham. We started quite brightly. Michail Antonio had that chance early on. Since then, West Ham have barely seen the ball. And a little bit like Forest at Newcastle yesterday. All these new players that Forest have brought in, but they were, not in the game at all. Which is how West Ham are faring so far. Just can't get the ball. And be interesting to see will there be any signs of frustration from the fans. Of course, West Ham spent quite a bit of money this summer, haven't we? It's about 80 million gross so far has been spent on players, incoming players, but none of them out on the pitch today. Now Haaland picks up the ball on the right hand side, showing incredible pace to beat Johnson to the ball, plays it inside, and this might fall to Haaland again. And Johnson caught by Haaland, and West Ham have a free kick, I think. Or is Oliver going to go back for a free kick on Foden? Let's have a look. Not quite clear at this point. It's Declan Rice who, well, I mean, there's no foul there. Foden's just gone over Rice's leg. And if he's claiming a free kick, that's just not. There's nothing in it. Well, he's given it. He has given it. He's given it for a foul by Rice on Foden. I don't think Rice actually touched his England teammate. But anyway, Michael Oliver's deemed it an offence worthy of a free kick. And Man City had that about 23, 24 yards from goal. 38 minutes gone. Certainly could do without a second going in team, couldn't we? What do you make of it out there so far in YouTube land? Do you expect a bit more from West Ham? Is this pretty much gone as you would expect? You know, we know we're up against it. It's a top side, but Gundogan blasts the free kick straight into West Ham's 5-man wall, and it's wasted. Yeah, West Ham spent quite a bit of money, but we're not seeing any of that out there on the pitch yet today. Beautiful day, of course, in East London. Sun's out. Everyone's wearing sort of temporary sun visors or sun hats out of the cards that have been put on the seats this afternoon. Some in claret, some in blue. A nice little keepsake for those of you who are there today. But one thing that people won't want to remember if it stays this way is the score. West Ham, of course, unbeaten against Man City at the London Olympic Stadium last season. Knocked them out of the Carabao Cup in the penalty shootout after drawing 0-0 last year, and a 2-2 draw followed later in the season. That's a good delivery by Man City into the box. Souček heads it out for West Ham. Bowen, I don't think Bowen's even seen the ball yet. I can't think of a single occasion in which he's touched it now. This is I'm surprised Oliver's not pulling the card out here because it's a high boot into the face. Ball's cleared. Michail Antonio's gone to pick up the ball, and he's been kicked in the side of the face. And now, if that's not dangerous play, I'm not sure what constitutes it exactly, because it's definitely above waist height. Oliver and Antonio exchanging words. Antonio asking why there wasn't a card given there. But anyway, West Ham just win the free kick. Steve, I'm only listening, not watching. I'm expecting a multiple goal loss. Don't want to watch. I kind of know where you're coming from on that one, Steve. I kind of feel the same. You know, it's a bit like one of those horror films, isn't it? You sort of, you know, you expect the worst and you know the worst is coming, but you're kind of engrossed and still can't take your eyes off the screen. It's a bit like that. This could be West Ham's very own horror show if it carries on like this. But who knows? Still only one goal in it. Just takes one bit of luck or one good opportunity, one decent bit of play, one mistake maybe from Man City, and the Hammers are back in the game. It certainly can't afford to concede another one now. Soufal's lost out to Grealish, who's managed to get away from him. And Cancelo's got the ball, trying to go around Soufal, but Soufal's done a really good job. But it's good work by the Czech there, who's managed to chase back, having lost possession, and win it back. The ball played down the line, aiming for Jarrod Bowen, who loses the one. Bowen throwing his head back in kind of real frustration. I mean, he's not seen the ball at all. You wouldn't even know he's on the pitch today, Bowen. He's not been utilised in the slice. I can't remember the last time in fact, I can't honestly say I remember him touching the ball. Or at least getting the ball down at his feet and being able to, you know, do anything with it. He's essentially just acting as a shield to Soufal at the moment. Craven's not so optimistic as me. OL says game over, no chance of us coming back, even though it's only 1-0. Why didn't I put a bet on Haaland first goal? Why didn't you, Craven? It would have been quizzing, actually. You probably wouldn't, would you? It's a bit like betting on a favourite, that one, isn't it? You probably wouldn't have won too much. I bet he's another Lukaku, and we'll have a goal against us. Let's hope not. Let's hope that's it. But anyway, 41 minutes gone. City with the ball on the right hand side. That's a clever little back heel to De Bruyne. De Bruyne's got options, pulls the ball back. It's a bad ball back, and that's a very, very risky pass from Lanzini to Rice. But Rice does brilliantly to deal with that. Now Michail Antonio picks up the ball and just loses the ball. Just crowded down by 3 Man City players. Loses the ball. City come away with the ball again. This is. Yeah, West Ham have got to get back to basics here and try again. The shot comes in from Cancelo. It's well wide of the post, but yeah, it's West Ham's tactic at the moment appears to be just hoik the ball long to Michail Antonio. I hope he can hold the ball up and bring the ball into possession. But Guardiola is obviously quite cute to that, and he's obviously realise what West Ham are doing there, and he's got 2 or 3 players on Michail Antonio every time the ball comes in, and the consequence of that is Antonio just can't get hold of the ball, and which means that West Ham haven't got the ball. Now here's Jarrod Bowen with the ball at his feet, plays it out wide, looking for Antonio. Antonio doesn't make the run, and he's just conceded possession. That's what happens when you don't get the ball. You tend to make mistakes, snatch at your chances, play passes that you might not otherwise play, because you're just not in the game. And that's a really good example of that. Jarrod Bowen, very, very frustrated. But it's still 1-0, 42.5 minutes gone. Now, Bowen, again with the ball at his feet, gets a chance to run. That's a better ball to Lanzini. Lanzini on the right-hand side. Can he give the ball back? He does, plays it down the line. Bowen's onside. Now, what can Bowen do? And West Ham with a corner. Well done, West Ham. Oh, no, it isn't. No, it isn't a corner. It's Ake who's played the ball off of Jarrod Bowen, and it's gone. The decision has gone in Man City's favour, which is a shame because that's better. That's what we need to see. Jarrod Bowen, of course, great at working those flanks. We need to see him out there a bit more. Craven on Onana. Did he turn us down? Did we cancel the deal because of his sister wanting an enormous amount of money? I'm not quite sure it was as much as that, Craven, but there was clearly an issue that we put the bid in. I think you pretty much have got the full story as far as we understand it. Anyways, that the bid went in. It got to the point where the player and his entourage spoke to the club, and the club were put off by the player's personal demands. Now, it was just a case of I think Moyes, and this is the point I think that's been made by a lot of people, is that Moyes looked at the deal and thought, this is a player who's going to be a super player in maybe 2 or 3 years, but we're a team that needs players now. We haven't really got the opportunity to stick a player in that frequently. And of course, he did mention that he wanted regular first team football, which is a strange one, because you'd think, wouldn't you, that at West Ham, with assuming we get through this playoff round, presumably against Viborg the week after next, that we're going to have around 50 games to play this season. You'd expect any incoming players to get a good shout, but it's not what he wanted. And you get the feeling that he was essentially just taking the, just chancing his arm with West Ham, because that bid had been accepted, and West Ham pulled out of it. And that's as far as we know. David Moyes is really upset about it. I don't think he was upset with Sullivan. I think he was more upset with the player, because the demands, obviously. I mean, the way these transfers work is, that technically speaking, the player shouldn't speak to another club until his parent club, his current club, have accepted a bid for said player. Of course, it doesn't work like that these days. Players and clubs know exactly what each other wants before those bids go in. So West Ham would have had a very, very good idea of the kind of demands that Onana was making, but by all accounts, that changed last week, and West Ham just said no. I can't tell you whether that was Moyes or whether it was Sullivan at this stage. So I don't know. I can't tell you any more than that, but it was definitely West Ham that said no, thank you. And Onana was offered a much better deal at Everton, and presumably he's going to get the opportunity to play an awful lot more. Well, I mean, judging by the mistake that Dicari made yesterday to give Chelsea the goal, you'd imagine he'll be straight in the team as soon as he gets there. But yeah, it's a strange one, that. It's go down in the annals of West Ham history with some of our long-running transfers. That we should call them the I don't know, it'd be like Ida Good-Johnson when it was probably the first, and we've had a few over the years where it's looked like the players coming in. There's been protracted talks. It's gone on for a while. It just hasn't happened. So just the latest episode, Lingard, of course, the most obvious one there. A couple of those this year we've had, but still plenty of time to get some over the line, as they say. Anyway, coming back to this one, we're in the second minute of added on time. It's West Ham United 0, Manchester City 1. Manchester City taking the lead in 36 minutes through a Haaland penalty. Substitute goalkeeper Alphonse Areola tripping the new Man City signing and conceding the penalty, and then left to pick the ball out of the net. Anyway, West Ham with a chance here. Jarrod Bowen picked up a free kick, cleverly done, and just stopped. And that's off, that is. And Cancelo has actually intimated that the linesman needs glasses, and I'm very, very surprised that he hasn't been booked for that. It was a clear foul. It was clever by Bowen. He basically just stopped his run, and Cancelo bundled into the back of him and sent him to the ground. But it is a foul. And I don't think he should be out there. Oh, he has actually been booked, I think. Let's just check this. Yeah, Cancelo's been booked, and rightly so for the reaction. You can't, you can't go around suggesting the linesman needs glasses, just because he's given a decision against you. But Yeah. Anyway, West Ham have a free kick. What an opportune moment this would be to equalise. In the third of 4 added-on minutes at the end of the first half, it's Jarrod Bowen. It's almost from the corner spot. It's about 5 yards further out, so we'll be able to get a bit of drift coming in. Left-footed delivery. It's a poor delivery from Jarrod Bowen, and it doesn't even beat the first man. Real waste. We're not going to get too many opportunities like that. And the ball hikes back into the penalty box from West Ham, and it's easy for Ederson to pick up. A real waste for West Ham. We've got to make the most of these very, of what are going to be very, very limited opportunities anyway. And didn't do it on that occasion. Real waste. Yeah, shame. So it looks like West Ham are going to go into the break a goal behind. 48 minutes and 7 seconds gone. 4 minutes called added on at the end of this first half. West Ham struggling, quite frankly. Quick look at the match stats. Or we'll do that in just a minute. Let's wait till we get to the halftime break. Now, City have another chance. The ball on the right hand side. It's Haaland, the big man with it, plays it inside. But that's City trying to be a little bit too clever. But anyway, they've got the ball again. Chance to cross the ball. Cresswell's so slow in closing his man down there, and the ball headed out by Thomas Souček for a Man City throw. Souček, like the rest of the West Ham players, looking very, very frustrated out there so far. Basically acting as a third centre-half there for a minute. But anyway, final few seconds. Man City have got a thrown. Not sure they're going to get the opportunity to take it because that's pretty much time up now. That is 4 minutes added on. Ball's thrown straight at Declan Rice. He clears the ball. And after 49 minutes and 3 seconds of the half, it's time for the interval, says Michael Oliver. And Man City go into the break 1 goal ahead. That penalty from Haaland, new signing, had to be, didn't it, really? On 36 minutes after Alphonse Areola trips the Man City striker. And yeah, that's the end of a pretty damn disappointing first half for West Ham. Match stats for you. West Ham possession 20% to Manchester City's 80%. West Ham 3 shots at goal, none on target. Man City 6 shots, 1 on target, 1 corner each, and both sides committing 3 fouls each. Not the most exciting of first halves, but I would imagine our visitors will be very happy with the way it's gone so far, leading as they are by 1-0. At the interval, Craven says, will we also use the low market to get a defender in desperately needed? Well, there's certainly moves afoot, Craven, to do that. The club looking at possibility of bringing in another defender. I would suggest it will be on loan, if possible. But you know, the problem I think that Moyes has, and something we haven't really talked a great deal about, is how bad was that injury to Angelo Ogbonna. Of course, we were expecting him to be back. I mean, there was talk, wasn't there, of him coming back in April at the end of last season. Didn't make it. Here we are at the other end of the summer into the new season. He's still, you know, best bet. It's probably about a month away, at least, according to the club. Could be longer. Who knows? And you know, maybe David Moyes might think if he's not, you know, going to be the player he was a year, 18 months ago, it might be better to bite the bullet and bring someone in. So I would expect to see bids go in anyway, Craven, for another centre half before that. Hello, buddy. How are you? The dog's just turned up. Before we go into the come and say hello. Come on in. Oh, there we go. There you go. This is healthy, everyone. And he likes people's ears. Yeah, what are you telling me? Oh, right. Okay. No, we're losing. Go on, off you go. Go on. Come on, off you go. Oh, you do want to go. Okay. All right. So yeah, I would expect another player to come in, or at least West Ham to do their very best to bring another centre half in, left back, centre half, central midfielder, and a winger. They're the 4 areas that we're certainly looking at boosting between now and the 31st of August in 3 weeks' time. West Ham a goal behind at half time. Not great, is it, folks? So far, not great. Arrived 66. Says Antonio looks like he's playing game 34 of the season. Yeah, he's not been involved at all, really. But then again, you know, it's ploughing a lone furrow against a city as mean and as difficult as Man City is never an easy task. So I think we give him a little bit of room for you know, for that this afternoon. It's a tough ask. Will we see Scamacca? Who knows? Maybe he'll get 5 or 10 minutes at the end of the game, just to, you know, get his first game at the Olympic Stadium under his belt. Who knows? But how do we change it? Let me know. You're David Moyes. Put yourself in David Moyes' boots. Here we are at the half-time break. West Ham a goal behind. Not in the game at all. And how would you change it? How would you mix it up to get West Ham back into the game? How could or can we? Is it just a question of damage limitation here in the opening game of the season? I want to think so. Would you? I think the Hammers have got something in them, but with only 20. Oh, actually, it's interesting. The BBC possession chart has actually changed since the players left the field at halftime, and West Ham walked off with 20% possession. Just flick my head to the right, and I've noticed they've gone up to 21%. So not quite sure how that happened at the end of the game, but at the end of the half. But there it is, 21.79 now instead of 20.80. This stream has gone to the dogs, says Apache. Very, very good indeed. It has. Yeah, I like it. Like it. Most interesting part so far, says Steve. Yeah, I'm getting back in the second half if you like. Give us something else to look at. Arrive says, are we a long ball game team now? I don't think so, right? I think it's just a question of adapting to your opponent. Let's be honest here. We're talking about we're playing one of the, if not the best club team in the world this afternoon. You got to adapt to your opponents, and I think Moyes is very, very, known for doing that, isn't he? Rather than the other way around, just playing your game and come what may. He definitely has a history of doing that over the years, and I certainly don't think that West Ham are going to be going hell for leather until the final 10 or 20 minutes. We've seen this a lot over the years. Pellegrini was the same to a degree. It's that. Especially Allardyce, of course, was well known for it, wasn't it? It's hang on in there for 70 minutes and then see if you can sneak a winner at the end, or in our case today, an equaliser. But let's hope we get something else before then. Anyway, I'm going to take a quick break because I need to go and get a drink. I'm absolutely parched, and the can is empty, as it were. Arrive says, I've got the hump. Sorry. Understandable. First day of the season, we're all excited. We're all looking forward to the game, and we West Ham haven't performed so far, and none of our new signings have either because none of them are out there on the pitch. But anyway, I'm going to take a very quick break, and I shall see you back in a few moments. I will be here on time for the second half, and I will see you very, very shortly on the other side. Go and get yourselves a drink or something, and I'll catch you very soon.
This is Google Pixel. He looks your routine, morning routine, the traditions that no one's getting better, the memories, and how you want to remember them, the fears, the footballs, the flair, the final little touches, the things that make you who you are, make this fun what it is. Google Pixel.
Been a really dominant first half performance for Manchester City, despite that sole shot on target which came in response from Haaland. 373 successful passes to West Ham 74 in possession, down to 79%. What is this connection makes it difficult for West Ham to play the best for what one deficit? I'm surprised to start City rather than dominating on the passing possession chances. I'm looking at the map and believe.
Right, welcome back to Eyes Up on the Brown for the second half. West Ham United versus Manchester City. The Hammers trading at the half-time interval by a goal to nil. The goal coming in the 36th minute from Haaland from the penalty spot after substitute goalkeeper Alphonse Areola tripped Man City's big money new signing inside the box to concede that spot kick. Only, what was it, 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes after Haaland injured Lucas Fabianski. Not purposefully, but it was enough to see the pole substituted and then tripped by their substitute goalkeeper a few minutes later. Now, interestingly, David Moyes having a word with the substitute, Gianluca Scamacca, on the bench there, presumably telling him that don't get too relaxed, son, because you might be coming on at some point. That was my take from it anyway. But anyway, Man City get us underway. Jack Grealish has already got the ball on the left-hand side, chasing into West Ham's box. Declan Rice goes with him. Little 1-2. Declan Rice does really well. Follows Grealish, his England teammate, all the way. And the 1-2 with Haaland comes to nothing. Good stuff by Declan Rice there. But West Ham really, really need to show a little bit more. And that's better from West Ham. On that occasion, Mikel Antonio managing to hold the ball up and play it back, but West Ham losing possession again needlessly. It's just a mistake from West Ham. We can really need to cut these mistakes out. Not been a good pre-season for the Hammers, is it, so far? And yeah, need to see a bit more this half. Need to buck our ideas up. It was a pretty low, pretty poor first half on the Hammers. Just made the point there on the TV that West Ham were outpassed 374 passes, 373 passes to 74 in that first half. 45 minutes, not great. But of course, the only stat that counts, as we regularly say on this stream, is that one up there in the top corner that says West Ham 0, Man City 1 at the moment. Good to see you, Eddie, if you're just joining us on the stream. Pretty quiet one this afternoon. Where is everybody today? Just to scare them all off. Maybe it's just because I'm on my own. Anyway, I'll not be with you next week. You might be pleased to hear, because I'll be at Forest with some of the regular crew. Hopefully we'll be running an Eyes Up next week. Maybe Nick will be able to bring you that one, but we'll let you know in due course on KUMB whether we're doing it next week or not, and who'll be in the hot seat doing that one. Anyway, second minute, just come to the end of the second minute of the second half. Man City in possession on the right-hand side with Cancelo keeping hold of the ball. Following a pretty similar pattern to the first half, this one so far. The ball on the right-hand side. A little overlap, ball played down the line now. Where's the closing down from Cresswell? Can Cresswell get closer? He's not doing it. Cresswell just staying inside. Rice closing down. Ball lofted in. Strange delivery by De Bruyne. Just lofted it over the top of the defence, and it's just run out for a goal kick there. And coming something. There's a change in shape here from West Ham. I'm trying to work out what it is. Perhaps we've gone to a 3 at the back. Cresswell definitely playing very, very centrally. Let's just keep an eye on that. Let me know what you think in terms of West Ham shot. I get the feeling we've gone to a 3 at the back there. But We shall see. Anyway, the ball played long. West Ham thought they'd won Souček thought he'd won the throw, but it's been given to Man City. Arrived. Nice cushions, by the way. Thank you very much. There's a first for the stream. Dunelm, if you're interested. Probably not, but there you go. Arrive says, I'm not grumpy anymore, but I don't get this Jekyll and Hyde thing with Moyes. Aggressive with most teams, but timid with the big guys. Yeah, it's something. It's a charge that's been levelled at him, over the years and throughout his career. That instead of making them or playing to our strengths, we play to the opponent's strengths. And I'm not sure it's ever really paid off. Moyes' record, of course, against the perceived big six is pretty dreadful over the years. But seems to be quite happy to continue with that. But anyway, back three, says Craven. Moyes going for it then. Yeah. And also pointing out that I'm presuming that means Manchester United as opposed to Southend. Craven bid £7 million for Arnie. And I guess that's our Arnie. Soft drinks, by the way, in case you're wondering. For some reason, that's interesting. Look what the green screen does to a can of Sprite. Because sure, that's green, not red. Anyway, 49 minutes gone. It's still 1-0. West Ham with the ball. Aaron Cresswell on the left-hand side plays it down the line, looking for Mickey Antonio. Is pushed in the back, but ball just runs out into touch, and Antonio just not getting in that game at all. It'll be interesting to see how Scamacca will get on here with this. Hopefully, a little bit better than Antonio does if he gets the opportunity to come in for 5 or 10 minutes. Can't see what's something in my eye there. Can't see what it is. Oh, that's better. Now, Cresswell's taken a bit of a dig in the back of the neck, but Mikel Oliver says nothing. And at the moment, this is very interesting. Now, Man City pretty much muscling West Ham out of the game so far. All these West Ham putting a lot of long balls into the centre of the park, which obviously we're hoping that we can flick on and bring other players into the game with. But Man City is winning every single ball. Walker's just put Lanzini on the deck, and somehow a free kick's been given against him. I'm not quite sure how that happened, but anyway, Man City still have the ball. West Ham still barely touched the ball. Right, says, I'm trying to sync my Sky with what you were watching. Can you give me the game time you're showing, as I seem to be a minute ahead of you? Yes, you probably are, Arrived, because I'm not watching I don't have the Sky stream here in the studio, the KUMB studio. I'm watching a different private stream. But currently I'm running at 50 minutes, 31, 32, 33 seconds. So yes, a couple of minutes behind live at the moment. Pardon me. 51 minutes gone. West Ham United 0, Manchester City 1. No changes. Excuse me. That's the Sprite for you. No further changes from either side. At the half-time, Man City have the ball on the left-hand side. Ball delivered into the box, cleared out by the Hammers, but still only as far as... well, hang on, no, that's better. Fornell's got the ball. Clever. Plays it down the line, looking for Bowen. Bowen's never going to get there. He's going to just play that out and concede a throw-in, and West Ham have a throw. But we're inside City's half, which is better than we've been doing so far in this... I was going to say in this half, but in this match, pretty much. It's been pretty woeful from West Ham. We've... look very, very much second best at the moment, as of course you'd expect against, as I said before, perhaps one of the strongest club teams in the world. But I want to see us have a little go, don't you? You want to see us perhaps, get hold of the ball and just run at them a little bit. It's not happening. Been muscled out, outskilled, outplayed, outfought so far. Everything, just not going very well at all. The ball back with the Man City goalkeeper. Arrive says it's 4-1 to West Ham, by the way. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be wonderful? I'd take one at the moment, Arrived, quite frankly. But, yep. Changes. I normally ask the crew when they're with me, when they'd like to make changes, or at least like to see David Moyes make changes. And who? So what do you think? Is this a good opportunity for Scamacca to come in and give us 25, 30 minutes? Mickey Antonio, for all his best intentions, just not the races this afternoon. To be fair, he's been marked out of the game, isn't he? He's got 2 or 3 players on him every time he gets the ball. Maybe Flynn Downs coming to get a taste of Premier League football for the first time. Who else? Let us know. Let us know what you think. What time and who would you bring? Who would you bring off? It stays like this. Of course, if get another goal, maybe we'll see. Or if Man City get another goal, perhaps the changes will come a little bit earlier. If West Ham score, then I would imagine Dave Moyes will be very happy to keep it as it is. But a slight sense of frustration for the first time coming from the crowd, as West Ham continue to chase it. That's a very 4-point. And this is a chance. Can West Ham profit from this? Lanzini plays the ball in. Antonio has the ball, plays it out wide to the right, comes across. Declan Rice with a chance, and it's fired over the bar from 17 yards out. Sloppy from Man City. Very, very sloppy. Was it Gundogan who gave the ball away? Ball played short from the goalkeeper. Didn't even look where he was playing the ball, and just played straight to Manuel Lanzini. Played it into Antonio. Antonio played it out wide to the right of the box to Fornals, I think it was. The ball's come back, little slight deflection. Declan Rice, and he's got the goal at his mercy, and he's put the ball over the bar. First chance of the second half for West Ham. I mean, Rice was, I do stress, he was under a great deal of pressure when he connected with the ball. It wasn't a question of, he had the goal at his mercy and had ages to choose where to put the ball. But still, you'd expect to see him hit the target from there. And another opportunity squandered by West Ham. At the other end, atoning Rosario Declan Rice in our own third of the pitch, but conceding the ball, giving the ball away. And doing really well. He's won it again. Great stuff from Declan. That's the sort of thing that gets the crowd going. Great stuff from Rice, showing his pedigree there at both ends of the field. Perhaps not so much at their end of the pitch, but anyway, the West Ham fans given something to finally get behind, and they do that. West Ham with the ball, beginning to pass the ball around for the first time. Say in the half, but it is in the match. First time we've really got the ball on the deck and played it around. And Cresswell has it on the left-hand side anyway. Drives into the City half. Looks to play a curling ball across for Fornals. And well, interestingly, Ederson comes out to claim it. Almost drops it at the feet of Pablo Fornals and doesn't do so, and picks the ball up. But West Ham have possession again. This is a good spell from West Ham. Can we profit? Really need to do something with this. Manuel Lanzini with the ball, 25 yards from goal. It's a terrible shot from there. It's never going to make it, but fortunately the ball's ricocheted back to Declan Rice, who plays it down the left to Cresswell. Now can Cresswell get across? It's just a little bit too long for Cresswell, and Rodrigo manages to retrieve the ball and play it down the line for Haaland, and Man City able to get out. But now this is a chance for Man City on the break. 4v4 here. De Bruyne plays it to Haaland. Haaland plays it wide. Gundogan's got a chance. Tries to play it back to Haaland, but it doesn't quite make it. Zuma gets a toe in, and the crowd now getting behind the home team. This is better. This is what the Hammers need. Lanzini tries to play a long ball over the top, looking for Jarrod Bowen. Ederson's smart to it and comes out to put it out his Dutch. But this is better from West Ham. Good last 4 or 5 minutes. And here comes some changes. Now this is gonna shake the crowd. 2 changes for West Ham. I can tell you, coming off on Michail Antonio. And he's been replaced by, well, I think you know who's been replaced by. Scamacca, making his debut, 57th minute. I'm really surprised at that from Moyes. Scamacca coming on really early for Antonio. We were led to believe that he wasn't anywhere near match fit, but Dave Moyes has seen enough and can finally make that change if it's not working with Antonio. There's the change, and there's another change because Lanzini has been replaced by Benrahma, who's given an equal rousing reception as he comes onto the pitch. Bowen with the ball on the right flank, better for West Ham, and plays the ball back, but West Ham unable to get the ball, but we'll have a free kick here. Now, important next 5 minutes for West Ham. We've got the crowd behind the players. They're up for it. The crowd are really, really buoyed by seeing the introduction of Scamacca there, and good chance for West Ham. Big chant of "Come on, you Irons" going up around the London Olympic Stadium for the first time, pretty much since the start of the game. And West Ham now probably actually seen more of the ball in the last 5 minutes than we saw in the preceding 52 minutes or so. It's been that sort of game, but really need to make the most of these limited opportunities that we're going to get today. It's going to be like that against Man City. You're not going to see the ball an awful lot, and you're going to have to take your chances when you get them. Declan Rice, of course, had a really good chance there a few minutes ago, put it over the bar. But encouraging signs anyway for West Ham. Positive change, that says Dan Robinson. Indeed, it was Dan. also says, I just wish we'd take the game to City. Seem to just want to hoof it to nobody, invite the pressure again. Yeah, unable to hold the ball up, wasn't he, Antonio? But there it is. That's the change that David Moyes was unable to make last season. Got a really excellent, viable option as a replacement on the bench in the shape of Gianluca Scamacca, the £35 million signing from Sassuolo a few weeks ago. But anyway, up the other end of the pitch, Man City have a corner. It's an unfortunate deflection off of the boot of Ben Johnson. And it's gone out for a corner now. West Ham need to be careful here. Certainly don't want to concede another one. Be a dreadful time to concede a second goal. Not that there's ever a good time to concede a second goal, of course, but well worked free kick, corner. Played short, delivered to the far post from an angle on the left-hand side, and it's just drifted harmlessly out into touch for a West Ham goal kick. 58 minutes gone, coming up to the hour mark, 2/3 of the way gone. West Ham still trailing a 0-0 against Man City here. That only goal of the game coming so far in the 36th minute, Haaland penalty to give the visitors the lead. But just takes one chance, one bit of luck for West Ham to get back into the game. Man City have a throw-in, 30 yards from goal on the right-hand side. Their right, that is. Walker's going to take the throw-in, looks for options. The ball came off Ben Rama, couldn't quite control it. And the ball's gone out for a Man City throw-in. What are you thinking, ladies and gents? You think West Ham can get back into this? Is there a chance for a point? Maybe we could go on and win it. Who knows? Let's be ultra positive. Or do you think City are going to hang on? Half hour to go, of course. Long way to go. Lots of football to play yet. There's Scamacca, picked up by Ake, who wins that first duel quite comfortably. And De Bruyne has the ball now, driving into West Ham's half, held up. Grealish, we actually haven't seen any of Grealish, and barely anything of Foden, bar the first couple of minutes of the second half. Little tactical change by West Ham. But they've not been in it at all. And Scamacca, his first real impression of the game is to upend Walker to a rousing chorus of approval from the 62,500 supporters packed inside, or most of them anyway, packed inside the London Olympic Stadium. The hour mark is with us. It's still 1-0 to Man City, who are in possession now, 35 yards from goal. Managed to get their foot on the ball again now. West Ham chasing shadows, which of course isn't great. It's it tires you out running around without the ball. It's very, very tiring. Soufal up against his old foe, his nemesis, you may say, Jack Grealish. Quite a bit of history between those two since Grealish was at Aston Villa. Scamacca concedes a foul this time that's given, and Man City have a free kick pretty much on the halfway line. They're slowing play down as you'd expect them to do. They've got that advantage. Just want to quieten West Ham and the crowd down a bit. The best way, of course, to do that is just to keep possession, and that's exactly what they're doing at the moment. 61 minutes gone. The ball played all the way back by Man City, just content to sit on the ball now and hold the ball, which is what they're doing quite comfortably. West Ham had that really good 5-6 minute spell a few minutes ago where they, I wouldn't say had Man City on the rocks, but certainly putting them under quite a bit of pressure. But now we're back with City the ball now. Great ball, across, great chance. And De Bruyne has the ball on the right-hand side. It's played in, plays a very, very clever ball across that corridor of uncertainty, the edge of the 6-yard box. It somehow evades Haaland, who's coming in, but also coming at the back. I think that's Gundogan. Is it Gundogan? And it's a real good chance. I mean, he's coming at the far post. It's a very acute angle, and he's taking it on his left foot, which isn't ideal in those circumstances. But he's got his angles completely wrong, and he's just played it out across the face of the goal and behind for a goal kick to West Ham. We're on the attack now with Pablo Fornals looking to come into the final third. Plays it out right to Souček. Souček's got an overlap on. If he wants it, there it is. His checkmate. Delivered deep. Here it is. Lanzini with a chance. Lanzini, Benrahma, who replaced him. Opportunity for Benrahma. Shame it's probably fallen to him a little bit early, that one. Just on the field and didn't really get hold of the ball. Tried to curl it round Ederson. We've seen him do that on many occasions in the past, but didn't really get hold of it. And it's an easy one for Ederson to save low to his left-hand side. But much, much better from West Ham. Much, much better. And definitely been a lot better in the second half than they were in the first. Still 1-0 to the visitors. Walker plays it into Haaland. Now Man City in possession at the other end of the pitch. West Ham back in numbers, 2 solid lines, 4 and a 5. Ball played down the right-hand side, looking for Foden, but he can't keep the possession, and Cresswell picks his pocket, and West Ham got the opportunity to break again. It's Benrahma in no great hurry to do so, just keeping the ball now. Ball played back to Areola in West Ham's goal. Areola, of course, coming on after 27 minutes, replacing the stricken Lucas Fabianski, and then gave away a penalty 9 minutes later. I'm sure you can really blame him for it. It was just a little bit late. It's one of those things. West Ham on the ball anyway, on the left-hand side. Played down the line. Benrahma plays it down to Cresswell. Cresswell delivers a probing cross to the far post. Bowen gets up. He can't really do anything with it, but it's only headed as far as Souček. Now, Coufal puts the ball in. Cleared by Ake. West Ham managing to get some crosses in, but no one getting on the end of it. The crowd getting up now. They can sense something happening here. West Ham within, this is what we wanted. Just hang in there. It's 1-0. It's not all over. Just one chance. That's all we need. Rice delivers an angle pass out to the right flank to Coufal, plays it inside to Bowen. Now, what's Bowen got on? Is there any movement in front of him? Not a great deal. So he just checks back and plays it back to Kurt Zouma, who comes across to Aaron Cresswell. Cresswell into Rice. Clever little ball between 2 City players. Rice driving down the left-hand side, looking to Benrahma. Now, Benrahma, can he beat his man? Yes, he can. Great delivery, but yet again, it's not beat the first Man City. Very, very difficult to beat at the back there, and they've defended solidly so far. Not really caused them any great problems, but I just would like to see that ball delivered low there. And it's always difficult as you're a defender, isn't it? You're trying to clear a ball that's coming in behind you. You've got to get it away from goal. A lot easier in the air because you can get behind it generally, or if you can't, you can just nod it over. The ball's on the deck, it can be quite difficult. Now it's a great delivery, slide ball. Haaland, great chance, 2-0 Man City, game over. I think that's game over. That's why you pay the big bucks. And West Ham had a great spell, 10-15 minutes, and didn't profit. And Man City, quick chance. It's a slide rule pass through to Haaland, who's got behind the defence again. And it's just too easy. And he just tucks the ball beyond Areola, who comes out. And it's an easy goal for Man City. West Ham just caught out, really, again. I mean, look at this. There's no problem with West Ham's shape. Cresswell just goes with Foden. I'm not quite sure what Kurt Zouma's doing. Ben Johnson. Now let's have a look. Let's look at Haaland's on there. Haaland's coming behind Zouma. Zouma doesn't even check to see where Haaland is. Johnson really is probably the man who should be picking up Haaland. He's got to go with him there. And yeah, that's just way too easy. That's appalling defending from West Ham, quite frankly. I mean, it's hard to be too critical of Ben Johnson, not centre half. We're missing Dawson, Aguerd. Diop, of course, doesn't want to play at the moment. Johnson's in there as a result of that, and it's too easy. It's just so simple. That's dare I say it, that's the sort of defending that gets you relegated at the end of the season. I'm sure, of course, it's not going to come to that, but we're playing a very, very strong side here. But that's way too easy for Manchester City, and that, as I say, is probably game over now. And I think it might be a question of damage limitation for West Ham here. 2 goals down, 66 minutes gone, 24 to go. What did you make of that, guys? Who do you? We're having another one of those drinks breaks at the midway point in the second half. Haaland's on a hat trick now. Of course, scored the penalty. 36 minutes. He's doubled his tally in 65. But you certainly wouldn't bet against him getting a third now, would you? The way things are going. Oh dear. This is not the start we wanted to the season. Of course, we knew we were up against it today. It's always going to be a tough game, but it's been way too easy for Man City, really. West Ham not involved in the first half at all. Much better in this second half. One shot since half-time. Declan Rice's effort, which he blazed over the bar. You talk about turning points. Could that have been it if Rice had scored 54 minutes, 1-1, West Ham back in the game, City under all sorts of pressure again? Could have been a completely different game, but as it is, it's just way too easy, that goal. And this is the thing, it's 2 very sloppy goals, and it's almost as if it's a continuance from last season. That goal we saw, so many sloppy goals conceded. by West Ham, and unfortunately, it's the case again. Snowman making the point that it was bad defending, but Johnson doesn't have the pace to deal with Haaland. You're absolutely right, Snowman. I mean, we can't. I'm certainly not going to criticise Johnson, who isn't a centre half by trade, and as you say, doesn't have the pace. Who does have the pace to? And there's not many that do. But yeah, again, I mean, I'm kind of. I'd like to look at that one again. I'm slightly concerned about Kurt Zouma's position there. That's not the first time in this game that Haaland's come across crossing from behind, and Zouma's not even seen him. He's not checked the run, not even checked to see where he is, not even looked to see where the danger is. The threat's going to be coming from Haaland in this Man City side. But maybe I'm being a little bit harsh. But problems for West Ham, big problems. Now, interesting 20 minutes. If West Ham can get hold of the ball and maybe come back and grab a consolation goal, it doesn't look too bad. We wouldn't say at any point you'd take a defeat, but a 2-1 defeat against, I don't want to labour the point, but probably the best club team in the world isn't the worst result on the opening day of the Premier League season. But of course, if City go on to score a third and God help us, a fourth and maybe more, then it's there's going to be question marks asked at the end of the game. But Man City dominant again in possession. Soufal's just put Grealish on the deck, for which he's been penalised, and Grealish gets up laughing. They take the free kick anyway. 69 minutes on. We're approaching the last 20. Still hoping to see West Ham get on the ball and do something with it. Dan says, I think City will punish most teams this season. Dan, I mean, you're absolutely right. That's why it's hard. You don't want to be too critical in these circumstances. But anyway, this is dangerous. Now, De Bruyne plays the ball in from the left-hand side, looks for Haaland. Better from Zouma, gets the ball clip. It's only as far as Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish again gets the ball. He's able to get in. Haaland gets in front of Zouma again. This time heads over. That's poor defending from West Ham. We've just got to be better. So frequently losing the second ball. There it is. Zouma only heading the ball as far as Grealish, who's way too easy to get round. Soufal, who delivers a shot. He delivers a short cross to the near post, where Haaland comes in ahead of Zouma yet again and heads over the bar on this occasion. But not good. It's not been good to watch so far from a West Ham perspective. But we have to keep reminding ourselves we're playing a very, very strong side. The current Premier League champions. Going to take an awful lot to dislodge them again this season. And they've got an embarrassment of riches to call upon, haven't they? Their second team, which is on the bench, will probably give most Premier League teams a very good game as well. It's just that's just how strong they are. They really are ridiculously strong. He's definitely getting a hat-trick, says Craven. Let's hope you're wrong, buddy. Let's hope you're wrong, but plenty of time for that. Of course, still time. It's unlikely, but I can remember games in the past where West Ham have played, gone into the last 15, 20 minutes, goals behind. Of course, who can forget Tottenham the season before last? We were 3 down with 8 minutes to go and managed to come back and pull that one out. And I remember a game many, many years ago at Upton Park where Manchester United were winning 2-0 in the closing stages. And certain Julian Dix scored a very late equaliser with one of the greatest penalties I think I've ever seen. Luckily for Peter Schmeichel, he got out of the way, because I think the ball would have carried him through the back of the net with it had he got in its way. Such was the force, the verve with which Julian Dix struck that ball, fired it into the top of the net to earn a point for West Ham. And so who knows? You never know. Football's a funny old game, as someone once said. And there's plenty of time to go. Anyway, West Ham are looking to get back into the game on the right-hand side. Switch the ball to the left. It's a really, really class ball from Fornells. 50-yard ball to Cresswell, who tries to play a 1-2 with Ben Rama, who's, to be fair, has been pretty anonymous since he came on. About as anonymous as everyone else in a West Ham shirt in the attacking half. But the Hammers now stringing a few passes together. This is better. Soufal on the right-hand side. Is he going to put another delivery in? He is. And Skamaka's up! Oh, that's a great save. That's a great save from Ederson. I think, is he offside? Is he offside or is it a corner now? And that's a first-time delivery. Soufal, obviously, this is something West Ham have been told to do. Soufal, yeah, I mean, Skamaka's just offside, but it's a nice delivery, and that's encouraging. Forget the fact that he's offside. The delivery coming, Skamaka's got really, really strong head on that, and he's forced to save from Edison Lowe to his left. He was offside and it was given, but signs of things to come for West Ham, perhaps. We know how strong Skamaka is in here. We know he can, he can get on the end of a good cross, and that's a really, really good effort. Was goal bound, was going in on target, but not on that occasion. But who knows? Good stuff. Hopefully, signs of things to come. But yeah, just going back to that, I mean, it certainly looks like West Ham have been told to get the ball in the box early if possible. Cresswell's fired a few over, and Soufal, of course, has looked to get the ball in as early as he can on several occasions. Foul there on Souček. West Ham. Oh dear. West Ham allowed to play on. It's a good decision by Michael Oliver, and the ball was played down the left to side Benrahma eventually. He was in a really good position, but just not looking where he is. And he's a clear yard or two offside, and it's an easy decision for Oliver to make. And that's frustrating, because that was a really good opportunity for West Ham. And Benrahma just not alert. Unfortunate for the Hammers. It's very quiet in the London Olympic Stadium today. As I said earlier in the stream, it's a record attendance, 62,500 fans packed in there at Stratford for this opening game. The season opener, as Noam likes to call it. The opening game of this 22-23 Premier League campaign, and it's all going wrong so far for the Hammers. Just not the races really this afternoon, especially in the first half. Actually been a lot better in the second half. But Man City being able to deal with any threat that West Ham have given them pretty easy. Now, this is worrying. This is really worrying. Because Man City won a free kick. Now, Jack Grealish was fouled by Soufal, but Grealish has caught Jared Bowen as he's gone down now. Soufal trips Grealish, who runs into... Well, that's a bit naughty. Now, Grealish has fallen into Bowen, but as he's fallen into, he's actually lashed out with his left foot, and he's kicked Bowen quite deliberately, and he knows it. Nothing doing, but Bowen is limping. I mean, he was clearly hurt there, kicked in the ankle by Grealish, who, not a fan of his. I've got to be honest with you. Great player, but just a bit snide for me. Not a big fan. And having words with Soufal to try and wind him up in the aftermath of that. Not a big fan of his. Anyway, 75 minutes gone down to the last 15. Rob Warden says, we looked frightened and no plan in the first half. We got unlucky with injuries to the new lads, but needed to get quality in sooner. Skamaka looks decent. No arguments with that. Rob seems a pretty fair summary of the situation. And my stream's decided to go for a walk, so I'm going to give it a little refresh. Hopefully nothing interesting will happen while wait for that to happen. But here we are. We're approaching the last 12, 13 minutes. West Ham 2 goals behind. It's pretty straightforward win for Man City, the way things are going. Other games. What games can you remember from the past where a team's been 2 goals behind and have come back to grab something thereafter? Well, we'll just stick with the game for a minute because Gundogan's put the ball across into the 6-yard box from the byline, and he's kind of remonstrating with the rest of his teammates, saying, "Where were you? There's no one in there." He's absolutely right, because it was a great ball in and there was no one within about 10 yards. Ball comes out to Said Benrahma, who just closed down by 2 City players and gives the ball away. It's been a lot of that. Too much of it in the game so far. Craven says City getting away with another blatant booking shock. Yeah, can't argue with that either, Craven. No chance of VAR calling it back thanks to Mike Dean, says Rob. Absolutely, Rob, of course, quite right. I did mention it in the first half, right at the top of the stream. Mike Dean might have retired from refereeing, but he's still having his involvement, still having his say up there in the VAR studio. I'm not sure if they're still at Stockley Park. Are they still at Stockley Park this season? I don't know. Wherever they are, Mike Dean's in control anyway, which is never good for West Ham when Mike Dean's involved. 79 minutes gone. Man City with the ball now, playing the ball on the wide on the right-hand side. De Bruyne, who's been very, very busy today, plays the ball in. It's somehow evaded everyone and found Jack Grealish on the other side. Grealish into the box, is going to look to shoot here. Does so, pulls the trigger, and it's a piss-poor effort, quite frankly, from Grealish. Man City about to make a change, or 2, coming on. Let's have a look. Who's coming on? Numbers 20 and number 19 coming on. And I'll tell you who that is in a minute. And I'll tell you who's coming off. It's number 9 and 19. I do believe that's Haaland coming off. Let's have a look. Cancelo and Haaland replaced. So no hat-trick Craven for Haaland this afternoon? I'm just waiting to see who that is coming on. It's Gundogan actually going off. Another unnecessary long lingering shot of Alfie Haaland, the Man City striker's father, in the crowd. He's watching from a Man City box today. Now I'm just waiting to see the graphics to see who's coming on here. It's Bernardo who's coming on, Bernardo Silva. And who's the other player coming on? Not quite sure. If anyone, oh, here we go. Yeah, Alvarez is coming on for City. So it's Cancelo and Haaland off, Silva and Alvarez off. 12 minutes to go. Still 2-0 to Manchester City. Just need a goal, West Ham. Just something to get the fans excited. Certainly don't want to be conceding another goal at this stage. 2-0, you can just about take, I guess, 3-0's. Yeah, that's concerning. If it stays that. Pablo Fornell's doing a lot of work, but just chasing shadows at the moment. Just can't get the ball, and he's forced to stop and take a breather as Man City look to play another slide rule pass into the box, but that one not coming off on that occasion. VAR was supposed to level the playing field, and all it's done is make decisions for the sinister Sky Six, says Rob Waldron. Do you agree with that? Think it's the bigger teams that benefit? Let me know. Let me know what you think. I mean, I think it's an interesting one. I mean, I still think that VAR could potentially be a success if done properly, but yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of very, very strange and unfathomable decisions you see take place. Do you think it benefits the Big Six over everyone else? Let us know. Do you think whether you agree with Rob or not? City with the ball, 80 minutes gone, playing the ball around the edge of the West Ham box. West Ham just strolling to defeat here, really. We're just kind of makes you wonder whether it is a question of damage limitation now from David Moyes, whether he's just told his players to just sit tight and take what we've got rather than fall to what would be an even more crushing defeat on the opening day of the Premier League season. Another tough opener for West Ham. We've had a few of those over the years. We did a news piece on KUMV a while back just showing how difficult West Ham's opening fixtures have been. I think it's something like 5 out of the last 7 years we've played a team, one of the perceived top 3 or 4 on the opening day of the campaign. Who, of course, seem to miss each other on the opening day as well. It's interesting. City with the ball. On the edge of the box, shot's going to come in here. It's another lame effort on this occasion from City. Rodrigo this time pulling the trigger and dragging a shot wide of the target. But City strolling to defeat. There's a shot of the bench, the City bench. Calvin Phillips, who of course was a West Ham target in January. West Ham said to have bid around £50 million for the then at Leeds United player who chose to go to Manchester City for £45 million. Figure that one out if you can. 6 months later. But 81 minutes gone. Man City still with the ball. Should we have a quick look at the stats just to see how that's panning out now? West Ham, of course, went into the half-time break. Well, I say it was 20% possession for West Ham and 80% for Man City. And, of course, I did mention that change very briefly at half-time. West Ham somehow possession stat rose to 21% after the half-time whistle had gone. So it's 21-79. But hang on, Scamacca's got the ball here for West Ham, looking to barge and force his way through the City rearguard to no avail. Declan Rice puts in a crunching challenge on Walker to win the ball. Now Scamacca has it. What can he do with it? I don't know, because my stream's gone again. Having a nightmare this afternoon. I must get Sky installed in the office at some point. But it's quite handy. It's all on the computer here, you see. So I suppose I could do that with Sky. I'm just being lazy, really, and a cheapskate, because this stream is generally not quite as expensive to fund as Sky Sports. But anyway, we're in the 83rd minute. There we go. We're back on. West Ham still with the ball on the other side of the pitch. So I'm not quite sure what happened with Scamacca there, but it's Declan Rice spraying the ball out on the left to Cresswell, plays it down the line to Benrahma. Come on, Benny. What can you do? Comes inside. That's a really, really poor pass from Benrahma. And then it was going straight through to the keeper. But Man City picks it up and can break. And De Bruyne plays it short. Now Man City breaking with pace. Jack Grealish has the ball. West Ham back off him. The ball played out on the left to Bernardo Silva. Silva checks, calls for options, plays it back. And Man City content to just control possession once again. Pretty much last season's team, they still look knackered and confused, says Rob. Yeah, there's not been much to cheer about from a West Ham perspective, is there, this afternoon? Very, very frustrating, really, for the opening day of the season. Unless Moyes is deliberately being negative to force the ball to spend even more, says Rob. Who knows? Hashtag. Indeed, who knows? Who knows the inner workings of the Moyes' mind? Not me, that's for sure. But I would imagine he's going to have a few harsh words to say after this one. But no doubt we will be asked about reinforcements and the fact that we started without any fresh players today. We've seen two new signings come on in the shape of Scamacca making his West Ham debut, and Areola not making his West Ham debut because he was, of course, here on loan last season. A permanent transfer in the summer to West Ham. 83.5 minutes gone. City still just playing the ball around. The reason I'm babbling on about a load of non-on-field related stuff is because there's not really a lot happening. It's almost like a training exercise for City at the moment. One of those exercises where you have 10 players against 4 or 5 and you just keep possession. That's pretty much what they're doing, but on a far larger scale at the moment, like the whole pitch. Now they're doing it on the edge of the box. Got to be careful there. West Ham pushing high up, closing them down, but not quite high enough to win the ball. Now City have the ball on the halfway line looking to break. Ball played inside. De Bruyne has had a very, very good game. He's been very, very busy. And that's a fantastic tackle from Declan Rice. De Bruyne didn't see him. And Rice is coming from his blind side to attack him. West Ham breaking on the right-hand side. Jarrod Bowen. But once again, he's got 3 players ahead of him and just dispossessed. Man City just always seem to have an extra man. Bit of cramp there. Is that for Declan Rice? What a tackle that was from Rice, though. He's back on his feet. He's fine. Walks or runs up to and past De Bruyne, who slaps on the thighs as to say, take that. Benrahma, can he get a cross in? It's another poor cross from Benrahma. It's so frustrating. Played it behind the defenders instead of in front of him. There's another shot. Why don't we have another shot? We've probably seen as many shots of Haaland Senior as the match today. It's been a bit like that. Anyway. 85 minutes gone. We're into the final 5 minutes now. It's going to take a miracle for West Ham to get anything out of this at this late stage. West Ham, I was going to do the stats about 5 minutes ago before I started rabbiting on about something else anyway, wasn't I? But West Ham's possession, which was 21% at half-time, has risen ever so slightly to 26% overall. Man City, 74%. West Ham, 6 shots, 1 on target so far. Trying to remember that shot on target. The only one I can remember is... the Scamacca header, which was offside. But anyway, Man City, 12 shots, only 2 on target themselves. Haven't exactly peppered West Ham's goal with shots today. Kept a lot of ball. But, West Ham haven't done too badly at the back in terms of that. But, the difference really has just been, City's clinical ability to, punish an opponent. And we've seen that twice. 2 very, very good balls behind the back 4, and West Ham have been caught out. City looking to add a third now. Ball played into the box, cleared out, or half cleared by Cresswell. Doesn't get a proper connection on it. And City had the ball back yet again. West Ham just cannot keep possession. Frustrating, which is kind of the word of the day, I think, really. Everything's been frustrating today, isn't it? It's been a bit like that. Wet the whistle time. .86.5 minutes gone. West Ham United 0, Manchester City 2. Manchester City with the ball. I think we can safely say this one's gone now. And then it's off to another tricky game next week, actually. Forest away next week. Now, I managed to... Interestingly, I was at a wedding yesterday. And fortunately, the Forest versus Newcastle game was taking place while dinner was being served. So my son and I decided to get the game up on our phone and not hide it in amongst the decorations on the table, and kind of kept one eye on the game while chatting to everyone else. Well, hang on, City won a corner. Ball was played in low from Silva, but it's good work from Johnson to clear it out for a corner. We watched most of that Newcastle and Forest game. Forest were absolutely dreadful. Couldn't tell you. Lingard barely saw the ball. Utterly outplayed by Newcastle. I'm sure you've seen the highlights on Match of the Day by now, but it was so one-sided. It wasn't it wasn't funny. Well, it was funny, I suppose, if you're a Newcastle fan or somebody who has a particular dislike of Nottingham Forest. yeah, it certainly, you know, made you feel positive for next week up there. Of course, it's, you know, is it a good time? Is it a bad time to play Forest? They're still, you know, it's their first home game of the season. You'd expect their fans to be buoyant and behind the team and expectant and hoping for the best. But of course, this is a team that's brand new. Nearly every player who's playing out there yesterday was a summer signing, and it takes a while for a team to bed in. And they certainly, you know, they look like complete strangers at St James Park yesterday. So hopefully we can go out there and get something. Calvin Phillips is about to make his debut for West Ham. De Bruyne, Foden, and Rodri coming off for Palmer, youngster Palmer, Phillips, and one other whose name I didn't catch. But it's a corner for Man City in the 88th minute. Jack Grealish takes it. It's an in-swinger. Looking, oh, this is dangerous. West Ham get it clear, though. Ball kind of drops in the 6-yard box. For a moment, it looks like there might be a Man City boot on the end of it, but fortunately, it was a Claret and Blue player who managed to wake it clear. But once again, only as far as City could pick up the second ball, and won nearly every second ball so far today. I think that's one of the most disappointing aspects for me, is that West Ham have, you know, it's almost been a case of, well, let's just get it clear and you know, instead of look to develop the game from there. Once we've managed to, you know, get hold of the ball or clear it, it's just been hiked as far away as possible. Quite frankly, Scamacca, with the exception of that header, has been as involved as Michail Antonio was. Neither of them have had the opportunity to do anything. And there's going to be another West Ham debut coming up. 2 youngsters coming on. David Moyes has clearly decided that the game's gone now. And he's about to make a double change with Flynn Downs and Connor Coventry coming on, which is very, very interesting. Now, would it be Rice and Souček going off? Because that will be interesting if it's those two coming off. But now Rob, I think it was, who made the point about Moyes possibly sending a message to the board about the lack of quality in his current squad, or backup anyway. At least, I mean, there's some real quality in the squad. That's a silly thing to say, but the depth isn't that great, and maybe putting on Connor Coventry might indicate that you know, he wants a bit more of that. West Ham almost got in there. Ball played down the right hand side to Jarrod Bowen, who's also cut a very frustrated figure this afternoon, but he loses the ball. And we're into added on time now at the end of the half. I think at the end of the match, that's 3, I think, indicated by the referee's assistant. And we're in the first line. There's a chance for Manchester City. Oh, that could have gone anywhere. The shot came in. I think it was actually going high over the bar, and I think it struck Kurt Zouma on the side of the head. Now let's have a look at this again. It's gone behind for a corner. Let's have a look at this again. It's the substitute who has the shot, number 19. Yeah, I don't think it's on the side of the head. I think it's square in the mush for Kurt Zouma. And anyway, it's one of those where if it happens to someone else, it's you know, you can't help but laugh, really. But yeah, not when it's yourself or one of your own. But anyway, that's the first of 3 added on minutes gone. Now, are we going to see those changes from West Ham? Never an ideal time to make those changes at you know, when the other team's got a corner. And indeed, David Moyes says no. Let's wait till the ball's a bit further away. So Mahrez, it was Mahrez, of course, who came on earlier with Palmer and Phillips, and it's he who will take the corner. Delivers it in swinger. Yet again, 2 City players arriving. Ake it was who got the his head on the ball. Player, of course, who was linked with West Ham last summer and in January. And here come Coventry and Downs, the 2 young central midfielders coming. Will it be? It's Jarrod Bowen who's coming off, who just hasn't been involved. And Fornells, interestingly. So not quite sure we're gonna line up here. We've got a team of central midfielders on the pitch now, and no wingers, or only one wide man in the shape of Ben Rama. Maybe it'll be a 4-4-2 for the last couple of minutes. Who knows? I have no idea. 4-5-1 maybe. But anyway, there's less than a minute to go, so I don't suppose it matters a great deal. I'm just trying to see how we're lining up there. Anyway, what do you make of the game? Let me know your thoughts, team. West Ham on their way to an opening day defeat. Impotent, really. West Ham today, not threatened at all. Oh, wait, couple of half chances. Declan Rice, that one in the second half. Skamaka had a good header. The substitute that was offside anyway, forced to save from Edison, but West Ham really not the race. And I'd say City haven't really had an awful lot of chances. It's been fairly turgid stuff, not really that exciting at all. But I suppose if you're in, if you're in that much control as City are today, it's they don't really have to get out of third gear, have they? And they certainly haven't today. Leonard Brooks says for their possession, City have hardly peppered our goal with shots. Yeah, echoing what I was saying, Leonard. A little while ago, clutching at straws for positive. No, I think it's a fair point, and it is a positive. We could have been worse. Let's be honest. We've seen this City side go away to clubs and win 4, 5, 6-0 before. Absolutely buried teams. They haven't done it today. It's not been great, but it's never a positive losing a game of football. It could have been worse, and we've not been that bad. Let's be honest. It's difficult. We've got some. Well, there's the full time whistle. 93 minutes and 26 seconds. It has finished West Ham United 0, Manchester City 2. That's the game over and done with. 2 goals from Manchester City's new signing, Haaland. One either side of the half-time whistle, enough to secure all 3 points for the visitors here at the London Olympic Stadium. West Ham, pretty limp performance. Was forced into a defensive reshuffle. Ben Johnson forced to play at centre half today because of injury to Aguerd. Bonner's not fit. Diop is AWOL. Craig Dawson not fit. And it's just so very West Ham. Terrible way to start the season. But there you go. I think we can go to Forest anyway with a bit of renewed confidence next week. It's a good opportunity to get some points on the ball. Forest, as I said a few minutes ago, were absolutely dreadful. Yesterday at Newcastle, didn't even look like a championship side, let alone a Premier League side. So good opportunity to pick up some points and get our season underway, which we didn't do today. Let's have a look at a few of your comments. Steve Palmer says, as expected, a loss, not a total washout, but then they didn't really get into top gear. No, Steve, they were never really forced to, were they? We didn't, they didn't really have to get out of top gear. De Bruyne, interesting. De Bruyne and Soufal having a few words there. Soufal looked a little bit unhappy with what was being said. But anyway, Epic #time. We won't be competitive this season unless there's some serious transfer business. Well, 5 players coming, £80 million spent already. Epic, and some people would say in terms of what we've done in the past, that is pretty serious business so far. But you're absolutely right. I mean, there's still some glaring holes in the squad. David Moyes making the point, I think, there by bringing on Connor Coventry. And let's be honest, I don't think he's expected to, have much of a future at the club. And young Flynn Downs as well. They're right at the end. But we definitely need some new players. Rob, why didn't you put Vlasic on? I would assume, Rob, because Vlasic is on his way very soon. As it looks like there's going to be a few people vying for his services in the next couple of weeks. Maybe I've got a feeling that one might go to the wire with Vlasic. That it might be one of those where he goes out on loan in the last 48, 72 hours of the window, rather than a permanent transfer. But we'll see. But I do get the feeling that he may be being held back. What else have we got? Craven asks, is Diop refusing to play? I don't think he's refusing to play, or at least that's not my understanding. But once again, I think it's similar to Vlasic, where the club are like, well, we don't need to use him. Then we won't. And Moyes, of course, is very strict in terms of players being match fit. Diop's not been around for the last couple of weeks. We know that. We know he's been back in France in Toulouse. So I would assume that Moyes, if he is fit, if he is available, didn't consider him being fit enough, or perhaps not in the right frame of mind to play today. There you go. Steve says, I started watching, your positive tone changed my mind. Oh, well, that's nice to hear, Steve. It's not often we get called positive on this stream, but could have been worse. That's my overriding feeling. I think we all sort of came into this game fearing the worst, didn't we? And that's unfortunately how it's turned out. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up very soon. Noam was going to pop along and bring us some thoughts from the final whistle. I'm not sure if he's on at the moment. I can't see him out there right now. No, he's not. He's not on at the moment. So I think we're gonna call it a day in just a couple of minutes. Forest next week, next game for the Hammers. I fancy us for that one. Anyone up there? You going to go? If anyone is up there, feel free to come and say hello. I'll be there with UTJ Junior. We're actually down in Essex for the weekend next week for a family celebration, and then it'll be hot footing off to Nottingham on Sunday morning for the game. And as I say, hopeful that we'll be able to do something of that. Thanks, Steve. Thanks for your company. It was my pleasure to do it today. Yeah, sorry we didn't have anything to get really excited about, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. And you know, this is a very, very good side. Man City, as I've said all through the stream, you know, one of the strongest club sides in the world, and we weren't really at the races. Should we have a look at the stats? Match stats, final match stats. Possession, West Ham 24% to Manchester City 76. Shots finished, 6 shots for West Ham, 1 on target, 14 for Manchester City, 2 on target. Only 2 shots on target, and both of which ended up in the back of the net, which you know is quite telling, I think, really. And you know, looking for positives, well, there's one. As been said on the stream, they didn't pepper our goal at all. 1 corner for West Ham, 4 for Man City. West Ham conceding 8 fouls to Man City's 4. Let's have a quick look at social media to see if there's any interesting comments coming out. Well, it's all as you'd expect. It's all about Haaland this afternoon, scoring, you know, enjoying a brace on his debut. But yeah, the overriding opinion seems to be that there's very few positives. What's that have we got? This is Haaland. Haaland. Erling Haaland accounted for 79% of Manchester City's expected goals total of 1.73 against West Ham. Game changer today. There you go. Yeah, Haaland 1.59. The XG philosophy says 1.59 XG. Everyone else 0.56. So it looks like he's going to be a key figure in Manchester City's season this year. Anyway, it's enough about Man City. We've seen enough of them. What else have we got on the socials? West Ham's XG, in case you're interested, I'm sure 1 or 2 of you are. West Ham's XG today, 0.34. 0.34. Yeah. 1 shot on target. Not great. 6 shots overall. And of course, that header from Scamacca. What did you make of Scamacca? Let us know. We've got a couple of minutes before we go. Didn't see much for him today. I mean, it's not the ideal game to make your debut in, is it? You know, you're not going to get an awful lot of the ball. We did see that one moment which gave us a glimpse of what might lie ahead when he had that header, great delivery in from Soufal, which he made just inside the penalty box, and it was a great header, goal bound, tipped wide by Edison, but unfortunately he was just offside. But you know, are you encouraged by what you saw, or is it really just a question of, you know, it's hard to get a picture of what he can do at West Ham against a team like Manchester City? Social's pretty quiet from a West Ham perspective. Yeah, and someone saying it's a great header from Scamacca, even if he was offside. It's pretty much all we've got to talk about this afternoon. Damage limitation is another thing coming up. And Jason Burt of the Telegraph saying, I fear for the rest of the Premier League. Erling Haaland is going to score so many this season. I'm looking for West Ham comments, although I guess you know, there's not an awful lot to write about, is there, from a West Ham perspective? Here's something. Declan Rice's stats, according to friend of the show, Statman Dave. Declan Rice's stats: 89% pass accuracy, 49 touches, 37 passes, 6 out of 7 tackles won. It's encouraging stuff. 1 block, 1 shot. I think the best one for me was probably when he picked the pocket of Kevin De Bruyne in the second half, when De Bruyne was looking to play the ball when in West Ham's half, and Declan came in on his blind side and just nipped the ball off him and also put him on the deck at the same time. Top quality stuff from West Ham's England international. Yeah, it's just very quiet. Not really much to talk about from the socials right now. So I think we'll call it a day just about there, and we'll head on over to the forum. I'm going to go and put up a bit of content, write a little bit about what we've just seen, and I can promise you it will be a little bit. Poor Chris Wilkerson has got to somehow get about 1,000 words out of that game today for the KUMB match report. If you don't follow Chris's match reports, please get over and have a look. If you go to KUMB, on the menu bar at the top, you've got the matches section. If you hover over matches, you'll see fixtures and results on the drop down. Click on that and you'll see the West Ham's fixture list for the season, and in fact every season going back to the year 2000, and all the accompanying match reports. Chris, of course, has been West Ham's match reporter for the last few years and does a very, very, very good job indeed. Always worth watching. Yeah, I'm going to head on over to the KUMB forum and see what's being said there. Let's have a quick look there and just see how busy it is. Oh, of course, it's always generally very busy after a defeat, generally busier than it is. And I can see we've got 657 users online at the moment. Lots and lots of guests having a look just to see what West Ham fans made of it. In fact, I'll tell you what, before we go, let's have a quick look. I'm sure you're going to do this yourself, go into the general discussion forum on KUMB and take a look at the match thread and see what's being said. Let's just have a look and recap on what's happened today with the views of one or two of our forum members. Robbie saying we were well beaten by a world-class team today. No panic here, though. We'll have a very decent season, I think. And Tokyo Vibe says, this is an interesting one. The weak link appears to be Souček. For me, I can't really see what he does. Interesting one to pull out. Ironing Board says, well, that's just a general comment about substitutions. Easty Hammer 16 says the season starts next week. Well, let's hope so, Easty. Let's hope you're right. Worcester WHU says the gulf between the two sides was an absolute chasm. Thank God that's over. Yeah. I think we'd agree on that. And talking about Skamaka, Danny Boy DJL says it was a good debut from the Italian. I'm pretty sure he found all his passes. Every header went to a man, and he got his one touch on target. Yeah. Couple more. Irons says the only way you're going to have a chance to beat teams like this is to get under their skin, not sit back passively and hope they don't score. The very start of the first half was positive, but the rest was really passive and overall just not good enough. Second half was better with the changes, but Haaland's second killed us dead. I'd like to see us play them. I'd like to see us play with a bit more grit and determination when it comes to roughing up the opposition, because we barely laid a glove on them today. They were showboating all over the pitch and had time to do whatever they wanted. You can guarantee that Dawson or Bonner would have been all over Haaland that game. And of course, that was the real problem, wasn't it? We were forced into very, very late changes, having to put Ben Johnson in at centre half, not a centre half by trading it, at all, and it showed, unfortunately. In points during the game. Did a good job apart from that. SH KUMB regular says, I don't think we need to look too deeply into this game. No need to dissect the performance too much. Man City were just streets ahead, coupled with us not being quite at it. It's not ideal to have to patch the defence together on the first game of the season, but that's just bad luck. I genuinely don't think we're as bad as this forum would have you believe overall. So clearly, the overriding view from the KUMB Cognoscenti is that it was a poor performance from West Ham. Samba, I'm going to leave it with this comment. I'm going to wrap up with this one because Samba says, well, at least we're not Manchester United. So there you go. Who'd be a Man U fan tonight, eh? Having lost at home to Brighton and watch Man City cruise to a win. Anyway, that's it. We're going to wrap up there because I've had enough. I've got to go and write about it now. So I've talked about it for the last 2 hours. Thank you very much to everyone for joining me live on the stream. I really, really appreciate your company this afternoon. Hopefully there'll be a few more of us next time. I won't be here on Sunday, should I say, because I'll be travelling up to Nottingham with the rest of the away fans to watch our first away game this season. Hopefully it'll be a bit more exciting and we'll see a few more chances for West Ham and lots more of opportunities. And hopefully our first points of the season will be on the board at the City Ground next weekend. Anyway, that's it from me today. As I said, thank you very much for your company. Do get on over to the KUMB.com forum and join in with the chat to talk about today's game, everything else. The transfer window, Fred, of course, is going mad at the moment. And of course, I would imagine David Moyes will be stepping up the search and Rob Newman to bring in some more players after what we've seen today. Yeah, there you go. So keep the faith, West Ham fans, keep the faith. We're not going to have many games as tough as that this season, let's be honest. And it's Forest next week and a real opportunity for us to get off the mark and pick up some points. Take care of yourselves. Have a lovely week. Thank you once again for your company. I'll see you all very, very soon. Until then, look after yourselves, folks. And it's a solo